A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a move that has sparked heated debate across the nation, the Australian government has officially passed a law that prohibits children under the age of 16 from accessing social media platforms. This legislation, which is being hailed by some as a world-leading initiative, has received significant backlash from various stakeholders, including politicians, tech companies, and advocacy groups. Green's communications spokesperson Sarah Hanson-Young has been particularly vocal in her criticism, labeling the law a world-leading failure. According to her, the bill was rushed through the parliament without proper consideration or debate, and she argues that it will not achieve its intended goals of making young people safer online. Hanson-Young emphasized that the legislation is a sham and is unlikely to provide any real protection for children. What we've witnessed this week is boomers trying to tell young people how the internet should work, she stated, highlighting the generational disconnect that often characterizes discussions about technology and youth. This bill might make oldies feel like they've done something, but in reality, it only delivers a false sense of security. Critics of the ban argue that instead of enhancing safety, the law could push young people into darker corners of the internet, exacerbating issues of isolation and vulnerability among marginalized youth. They contend that the government should have focused on more comprehensive measures that tackle the predatory business models of major tech companies. In a related development, Prime Minister Anthony Albanese defended the government's actions, asserting that Labour is working hard to make Australians' lives better. He dismissed the criticisms, suggesting that the government is committed to addressing the mental health impacts of social media on young people. However, the passage of this law has also raised questions about its feasibility and enforcement. Major social media platforms, including Meta, the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, have expressed concerns about the rushed nature of the legislation. They argue that the requirements for compliance may be challenging to implement effectively. The law mandates that platforms take reasonable steps to ensure that users under the age of 16 cannot access their services. Failure to comply could result in hefty fines, potentially reaching up to 44 million Canadian dollars. Furthermore, there are exceptions for messaging apps like WhatsApp and educational platforms such as Google Classroom. This nuanced approach aims to strike a balance between protecting young users and allowing access to essential services. As Australia sets a precedent with this legislation, it will be closely watched by other countries grappling with similar issues. While some European nations and U.S. states have implemented age restrictions, none have established a comprehensive enforcement regime like Australia's. Critics, however, caution against viewing this law as a panacea for the challenges posed by social media. They argue that without addressing the underlying issues of mental health, online bullying, and digital literacy, the ban may ultimately fall short of its objectives. In the meantime, as the government prepares for the law to take effect in late 2025, the debate surrounding its implications is likely to continue. Stakeholders from various sectors are calling for a more collaborative approach to address the complexities of youth engagement with social media. The Greens have proposed alternative measures, including the introduction of a duty of care amendment aimed at holding tech companies accountable for the safety of their young users. As the conversation evolves, one thing remains clear. The intersection of technology, youth, and policy is a contentious arena that will require ongoing dialogue and innovative solutions. In other news, the Australian retail sector is gearing up for a record-breaking Black Friday sales event, with consumers expected to spend approximately $6.7 billion. This surge in spending comes despite ongoing cost-of-living pressures, as shoppers seek discounts on electronics, clothing, and holiday bookings. The Council of Small Business Organizations of Australia has reported that a significant number of small businesses are participating in this year's sales, indicating a robust consumer appetite for bargains. Additionally, the government has recently passed new regulations aimed at protecting consumers who use buy now, pay later services, bringing these products under national credit laws to enhance consumer protections. As Australia navigates these various issues, the impact of the new social media law and its broader implications for society will remain at the forefront of public discourse. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.